Hey everybody, Happy New Year. This is my first video of 2026. And, I was thinking about, it's been almost 3 weeks since my last video. The holidays got away from me. We got stranded in Michigan on the way home due to a blizzard. That only added 1 day to the trip, but I'm always happy to be in Michigan. Anyway, I was trying to think of, I need to put up a new video. And you know what? I've been watching a lot of the 2026 vinyl tag videos. And looking back, I think it's been at least 2 years, maybe 3, since I've participated. So I want to do that today. I want to, first of all, give a shout out to, was it controversial this year? I can't keep up. David Atkinson from the UK. I watch your videos. Very cool channel. David came up with the prompts well in advance. I think it was in early December. He kind of put a little post out there saying that he was going to be doing this and tried to avoid controversy. I think for the most part he has. A lot of people are jumping on this tag, which is very cool. Great way to showcase your channel, get more eyeballs on your channel. Let's get started with these prompts because David, this is going to take me at least a half an hour to reshelve all these damn records. But it's a great way to kind of dip back into the collection, maybe put something on a turntable that you haven't in a while. Always a good thing. Number one, show your best vinyl format. I've got the questions here taped up to my tripod. This might make a good behind the scenes photo for my Instagram. Check it. Show your best vinyl purchase of 2025. I'm going to go with the best find, the best used find for 2025. And those who do follow me and have seen a couple videos on this already, apologies, but hey, this was a huge one. I've got to continue to pump this thing. Yeah, it's a 1969 Led Zeppelin II, the RL Hot Cut, but a white label promo. The record almost fell out. Monarch pressing RL SS, of course SS with Sterling Sound, the first mastering house that Robert Ludwig was employed at as a mastering engineer. What a hell of a find. What a roller coaster ride of a listen. Yes. Question number 2. Share your favorite live musical experience of 2025. Back in November, my wife got tickets to see David Byrne on his latest tour, the kind of deconstructed band. Pretty cool stuff. Not your typical 4-on-the-floor concert, if you know what I mean. Very theatrical. This was the latest record that I picked up with the Ghost Train Orchestra. What was the title of this? Who is this guy? Some good songs on here. They did, of course, do the lead single, Everybody Laughs. And this was a really fun pressing as well. David Byrne. Only the second time I've seen David Byrne. I never saw the Talking Heads. I saw David Byrne in a circus tent in Munich, Germany in, I think it was 2001. So it had been a while. It was a great concert. Question number 3. Your vinyl collection in 10 years' time. Is it bigger, smaller, or about the same? Explain why. I'm up to probably, I think, 2,250 slash 2,500 records in the collection as I stand today. In 10 years' time, I see it kind of maybe staying about the same. I am at a point now where I am not purchasing as many records as I had been. The velocity has died down, but I am still hunting and I am still looking for upgrades and different pressings of my favorite records that are in the collection. There may be a little bit of pruning here and there. Do I need Live at Budokan? I don't know. Can I maybe get away with streaming that? There's gonna be some pruning. So I'm kind of thinking the collection is not going to be getting bigger. It's either going to remain about the same number or it's going to maybe slightly reduce. Question number 4. You move into a new home. You play one record turned up to 11 to announce your arrival. What is it and why? To announce my arrival. Okay, hopefully I wouldn't have neighbors nearby. But I think it would be Gaucho, Steely Dan, specifically track 1, side A, and I do have a double 45 Analog Productions UHQR here in my hand. It would be Babylon Sisters, because I would need to be kind of dialing in my system after having it set up in that new house. And I would want to make sure that the bass response was good on Babylon Sisters. The airtight, dry, shuffle lead-in was really hitting the way it should be hitting. So that's my answer. Gaucho, Steely Dan. Question number 5. Show 2 albums, one each for your favorite male and female vocal artist. Why these 2? Let's go with the female, Aretha Franklin. I'm from Michigan. Aretha is the queen of soul. No explanation really necessary. Dig into her catalog if you have been living under a rock. My favorite vocal artist, the male person out there, dearly departed, unfortunately. This guy was known as being a chameleon, different styles, whether it was glam rock, whether it was blue-eyed soul, or even moving into disco / dance in the 1980s. Of course, I'm talking about David Bowie, and this is probably my favorite. And if you really want to hear soulful vocals, go for Young Americans or go for Station to Station. Track 3, side A, Word on a Wing. Put that on and let me know in the comments if you agree with me. Is David Bowie your favorite male vocal artist? I'm curious. Question number 6. Show your top 3 soul, dance, funk records. Let's start with dance, and I'm going to age myself here, but Michael Jackson, Off the Wall. There's a little bit of everything here. There is soul, there is dance, and of course there's funk. And this thing sounds amazing. You don't need to mo-fi, in my opinion. Just get a clean original. This is sentimental to me because I would dance to these songs at the middle school dance when I was in the 8th grade, ladies and gentlemen. Aging myself again. Plus, it's always humorous to watch aging white men Talk about soul and funk and dance records, right? Don't Stop Till You Get Enough. Rock With You. I'm going to stop right there. Michael Jackson, Off the Wall. Maybe a top 10 record in my experience, life experience. I hate to be like too obvious, but Rick James, Street Songs, Give It To Me, Baby. I'm just going to stop there. I mean, this thing is drop dead amazing. And little known fact, on the Gordy label, an offshoot of Motown, right? I think that's Berry Gordy's imprint. You'll see a little CB in the dead wax. Chris Bellman, an early effort from Bellman. And yeah, this thing has plenty of bass, and it is super fun to listen to. Last but not least, and this is really on the funk/soul side of the spectrum, to me, the master, Curtis Mayfield. What a record. You know, there's nothing wrong with the self-titled. There's nothing wrong with Superfly, but oh my God, this is just a gorgeous record, and heavy slabs of funk and soul. More on the soul side, I think. An amazing record. Question number 7. Nominate a track you hate from an album you love. 1991. Out of Time, REM. Lead song on side 2, Shiny Happy People. Can't do it. I would always skip that song on CD. And before doing this prep work, I can't find the record. I know I don't have an original, and I must not even have picked up the reissue. But that is still, despite that one song, Shiny Happy People, that is a great album. Texarkana, Near Wild Heaven, Country Feedback. I loved the song Low. And, of course, Losing My Religion. What a huge record. But no thanks on Shiny Happy People. Question number 8. If you had to pick only one album from each of the last 6 decades, what would they be? I thought about this, and some things came to mind immediately, and then other things I had to really kind of think about. I'm gonna kind of cheat on the 1960s, and we're gonna start at the near the beginning of the decade and end in 1969. But I've got to go with first the Freewheelin' Bob Dylan. This is the double 45 RPM. This is the mono, the MoFi. What a record! I mean, Blowin' in the Wind, Girl from the North Country, right? Those two things. Masters of War, Bob Dylan's Blues, A Hard Rain's Gonna Fall, Don't Think Twice. I did pick up the record store day with the Withheld, the original thought of what was going to be going out as the album. It's pretty cool. Good pressing as well. But that would be number 1 from the decade, the 1960s, and then a real sentimental one, of course, Abbey Road, 1969. I used to pick this up from my parents' pretty modest record collection, and I would play this thing incessantly. I would study this cover. And like, what the hell is Abbey Road? And why does Paul not have shoes on? Of course, years later, I was able to pick up a very early pressing with the misaligned apple right there that you can see on the back. UK-2-1, the one that reigns supreme, in my opinion. That's the second album from the 1960s. let's continue on into the 1970s. Had to go here. What's Going On, Marvin Gaye. A drop-dead masterpiece, and really political, soulful, almost like being in church. This record, incredible. 1980s, I gotta go with 1989, The Cure, Disintegration. I was in Chicago, Illinois. I bought this the week it came out, for sure, on CD, and managed to pick up an original pressing earlier this year. This is fantastic, and it brings back a ton of memories from 1989. An album from the 1990s. Well, in 1993, Donald Fagen finally came up with the follow-up to The Nightfly, a record that dropped in, 1982? Finally, in 1993, not only did we get Kama Kuriad on the Reprise label there, this is an original pressed in Germany, but we also got a reformed Steely Dan. They were back. They toured the summer of 93. Why the hell did I not go to that show? I was living in Glendale, California at the time. I could have went to Irvine Meadows, and for some stupid reason, probably had to work that night. I was slinging hash at the Four Seasons Hotel in Beverly Hills, believe it or not, at that point in time. Long story. Next up, the 2000s decade. Yeah, I'm going to go here. Two Against Nature. This is actually the double 33 RPM, the Record Store Day release from, was it 2018 or 19? I also have the double 45 Analog Productions. This is a wonderful record. Steely Dan, after starting up and touring again in 93 and additional summers and tours, I actually caught the 2000 show. I was living in Dusseldorf, Germany, and it was fantastic. So yeah, Two Against Nature, 2000. And finally, the 2010s. This is a brand new arrival, but I also have the original pressing, Beck's Morning Phase from 2014. You know, I talked about the Marvin Gaye record and kind of feeling like you were going to church. Some of the songs on here, some of the psych folk, it can put you in that space as well. And this is an otherworldly pressing from Definitive Sound series. Highly recommended. Check that out. That's pretty cool. Slipcase. There it is, a record from the 2010s, a release in 2014. Question number 9. You get the opportunity to spend a day alone with one artist, walking a mountain trail, the beach, or hanging out in the city. Who would be that artist? You know what? I like to kind of keep the experience separated. I don't really need to know about their personal lives, and I don't want to impede on their private time. I don't think I would be into it, so I'm skipping that question. Show a record that contains a track that always brings a tear to your eye. There's a few that I could mention, but I'm going to go with this one. The song Watching the Wheels off of Double Fantasy. I just happen to have this best of collection on Quai X2. Really nice pressing, sounds amazing. A really nice retrospective as well, but knowing what happened and listening to some of the lyrics, I'm no longer in the game. I'm not going to try and recite it. I'm not going to try and, knowing what happened and listening closely to that song off his final album. People say I'm crazy doing what I'm doing. Well, they give me all kinds of warnings to save me from ruin. Surely you're not happy now. You no longer play the game. That one does it for me. Watching the Wheels, John Lennon. Next question. Show 3 albums from artists you've tried and tried to love, but you're questioning why you bother. I'm going to have to follow, I think Vinyl Richie, I think he had a similar take on this. And these days, for newer artists, I will go ahead and stream stuff ahead of time, or maybe I've caught them on a live appearance on late night TV or something like that. But if it doesn't click with me, I'm not buying it. I'm not going to buy a physical copy of that record. I will say I've never clicked with the Foo Fighters. Shout out to Chris Grooveseeker. I think that was one of his as well. But yeah, I never connected with Foo Fighters. They just, I don't know. Music to me is emotion and feeling. And it just doesn't connect with me. So, sorry, Dave Grohl, but it is what it is. Okay, let's move on. Show an album from an artist whose character disappoints you, or can you separate the artist from the art? I'm going to take a pass on this one too. This is kind of similar to me not being bothered about wanting to spend time with an artist. I am able to separate the art from the artist, from the individual, from their personal beliefs. These guys and ladies, they're entertainers, and that is the portion of their life that I'm really concerned with, the artistic output. Now, I will hold up my hand and say that I am checking expectingrain.com on an almost daily basis to see what the hell Bob Dylan is up to. I'll make an exception for Dylan, but yeah, I don't. Politics comes and goes. Everyone has an opinion. I'm just interested in the art. Next question. If you had to sell your vinyl collection along with your record player, show the one album you would hold on to as a keepsake. I had a hard time with this one. But I'm going to go back here. I'm going to go back to Abbey Road for really sentimental reasons. Again, it's an album that I remember my parents had, and I remember playing it a lot, along with Sgt. Pepper. But this one just sticks with me, and it's such a gorgeous recording. The song Sweet on side 2 is just an all-time, never get tired of it. Here Comes the Sun, Drop Dead Gorgeous from George Harrison, and this is something I would need to hold on to. Next question. Discuss your VC highlight of 2025. I have a two-parter. Back in September, my wife and I flew into the Bay Area in California because we were going to take a long weekend up in Sonoma County for our wedding anniversary. Had a fantastic time, but our very first night, we spent the night in Berkeley before heading north. And we met up with Jefferson from Tubelandia here in the vinyl community. And we met up with Jefferson and his wife and had a lovely dinner and chit-chatted for a while. Took a photo that I'm going to show you here. And then part 2, the next morning, my wife and I were having breakfast before heading up into wine country. We were on 4th Street in Berkeley. Fantastic little neighborhood. We were at a little breakfast place. I think it was called the Oceanside Diner. We had finished. I was taking care of the bill, And out of the corner of my eye, a gentleman approached me and said, "I love your videos, Tim." And I don't remember the gentleman's name. If you're watching, thanks very much. That kind of made my day. Yeah, it's a little selfish, I guess, but that's very cool being kind of acknowledged or recognized out in the public. It's happened to me other places too. But I appreciate everyone who watches the videos, and maybe you're now a subscriber as well to Liner Notes. We've got to throw a plug for my new newsletter, Liner Notes. It's on Substack. So there's the plug for my new newsletter on Substack. It's called Liner Notes. Let's continue on. We're getting near the end here. This is turning into a long one. Name your favorite musical biopic if you have one. But I'm going to go with a full biopic, and that, of course, is Spinal Tap. It'll never be beat, in my opinion. Next question. Give 3 reasons why jazz matters and show a favorite album. Oh, wow. Why jazz matters? Boy. Well, it's really fueling the vinyl resurgence. I think jazz reissues are a huge foundational piece of this whole vinyl resurgence and the whole audiophile reissue program. You know, we saw it with Joe Harley doing Music Matters Jazz and then moving into the Tone Poet series for Blue Note, along with the Classic series. That and jazz is one of the great American art forms. Look into the history. It's incredible. And it's political. It's emotional. I don't think I have a third reason. And I will show you live at the Village Vanguard. If you know, you know. If you don't, you need to at least stream this thing. Be prepared to just hold on to hold on to your seat. Make sure you're in a steady position when you're listening to this thing. And this is an early kind of a sleeper audiophile reissue done in 89 or 90. MCA had purchased Impulse, and they had the Impulse catalog. All the records were pressed at KM Records in Burbank. You can see that little hype there, hopefully. These are all translucent. They're on a German imported vinyl compound, almost like a virgin vinyl. But you can find many classic titles that were put out by Impulse and MCA. Late 80s, early 90s on KM Records, pressed at KM Records. They replicated, of course, the original label, but you don't get the original Impulse gatefolds, unfortunately. But well worth seeking out if you want a really great sounding, affordable copy of some of these classics. Okay, next to last question. You're an innocent man on death row. They give you one last musical request. What do you ask for? If it was just one track, give me Time Out of Mind, and that's all I would need. Time Out of Mind. Sell your favorite artist to a new listener. Show one essential album and explain why they should make time for it. One of my favorite artists is Bob Mould. Bob Mould was a co-founder of Husker Du. In 1989, he released an amazing record called Workbook. Look it up, check it out, stream it. This is an original pressing. This came out on Virgin, 1989. if you're thinking in the back of your mind, oh shit, Husker Du, they were kind of that loud pre-grunge band from Minneapolis, and weren't they really noisy? If you think that, give Bob another listen, and listen to Workbook. It's a gorgeous, mostly acoustic record with cello and strings and 12-string wonderful acoustic guitar. Yeah, there's some electric guitar on here too, thank God. But listen to Workbook. If you like Richard Thompson, that was an influence definitely on this record. Bob Mould. And his entire catalog is fantastic. Of course, he went on to form Sugar, who are going to have a huge year this year. They're reforming. There will be shows in New York and London, and I'm predicting that there are going to be more shows around the United States and probably Europe. Bob Mould. Last question. You're arranging a VC meetup in 2026. Excluding those you've already met, invite 3 people you'd most like to meet. Come on, this is a tough one. There are so many people I would like to meet. I watch so many vinyl community videos and personalities. It's fantastic. I'm just going to name 3. There are a lot more, though, that I would like to meet. I have met several already along the way at record shows. So if I had to name 3, I would start with, and this is in no order, and these are just 3 of many that I would eventually like to meet. I think it would be fun to have a beer, a coffee, a meal, talk about music, talk about life. Harris Pilton. Love Harris's videos. We have a similar sense of musical taste, I think, for the most part. Harris is in the UK. I think it would be great to meet up with him. Somebody else in the UK, he's in London. He doesn't do a lot of videos. The guy is so classy. His production is so good. He must have a very nice camera. I love his backdrop. I love his sensibility, as well as his musical taste. David Ellis would be cool to meet David Ellis. Last but not least, definitely the Reverend Rock and Rollin'. I think he's hailing from somewhere around Atlanta, Georgia. If you know him, you love him. I miss the YouTube videos. He's almost always now on Instagram. What an incredible follow. I just love his joy, the V, his sense of humor. We have DM'd each other a few times over the last several years about different pressings and maybe even a little bit about life. Love you, Reverend Rock and Rollin'. Keep doing what you're doing. Your reels on Instagram are a constant auto tune in, auto click. What the hell is it on Instagram when you're watching a story? I don't know. But I follow him, and he is putting out incredible content on Instagram. That's it. Vinyl Tag 2026. I've got to wrap this thing up. My camera's overheating. My battery's almost dead. Thank you, David Atkinson, for doing this year. A great set of questions. I encourage everyone and anyone, even if you don't have a channel and you watch these things, come on, man. Give it a shot. Would love to see new faces, new personalities. I hope everyone has a great week. It's Monday, January 5th. I'm trying to get back into the grind, and take care.
Same time when this party's over, it will start again. Will not be any different, will be exactly the same. Oh, heaven, heaven is a place where nothing ever happens. When this kiss is over,